Hi everyone, welcome today. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Hale Nia. On a regular day, I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of the Middle East's first online fashion magazine, Savoir Flair. Today I'm taking a break from my regular duties to serve as moderator on this panel. We have the great pleasure of having Miss Anna Dello Russo here, along with Symphony, for an unprecedented event in the region, which is being live streamed right now as we speak on savoirflair.com. We've gathered some of the most prominent fashion personalities in the region to have a lively fashion discourse with Anna about her own personal style and about the current state of affairs in the Middle East and in the general fashion scene. I hope you find it both informative and entertaining. Before we begin, I would like to introduce you to our very elite panel, which begins at the end of this table with the enormously talented and lovely Camilla Skovgaard, shoe designer extraordinaire. I think I'm a little biased when I say this, but I do love her and think she's one of the greatest designers to come out, and we're very, very pleased to have her here. Moving on, we have Sally Matthews, stylist extraordinaire and fashion editor at Harper's Bazaar Arabia, one of the most influential magazines in the region. Mr. Anna Dello Russo really needs no introduction whatsoever. What can I say about her? She's a fashion editor, she's a muse, she's one of the most photographed women in the whole world, and she's personally one of my favorite people to watch because she always, always, always impresses us with her incredible outfits day after day. We're very, very pleased to have you here today, Anna. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I'm sure she will have many enlightening things to say, and she will charm you with her beautiful Italian personality, which is just infectious and full of energy. Next to Anna, we have Helena Frith-Powell. She's a successful author and fashion editor of one of the region's most celebrated new publications and magazine. Helena's topic today is really special as it addresses the controversial subject of age versus beauty. Next to Helena, you will find Donna Nujumi. She's the features writer and sub-editor for one of the best-selling weeklies in the region, Grazia Middle East. Donna's topic is one of my favorites this afternoon, as she will be asking Anna about the future and possible demise of print publications. Moving on, we have Elle Timms, the fashion and beauty editor of Emirates Woman, the UAE's longest-running magazine. Elle will be asking Anna about Anna the brand and what she has next in store for us. And last but not least, at the other end of the table, we have Felicity Brown, who I'm extremely pleased to introduce. Along with Camilla, Felicity is proud to call Dubai home, and we are extremely proud to have her living amongst us in the city. Naturally, she's going to be asking about what it takes to make a fashion label successful. With that, I would like to start the discussion with Camilla. Please go ahead.
Hi, Anna.
Hi. How you are here? Why you are here in Dubai?
Yeah, I have my business both in London and in Dubai. I used to live here back in the 90s for 7 years, so it's sort of nice to come back and have one leg in the place. But I started my shoe education about 11 years ago in London, and then I started the company about 6 years ago, so the main company is still in London.
I see.
And so, of course, during those 11 years, I have sort of been observing a lot of business upstarts in the industry. And it sort of strikes me a bit curious with, I think, probably more London than many other cities. Then I know you're with Japan Vogue, of course, that a lot of business upstarts, some of them, they get a lot of good press, tick all the right boxes, it's cool, it's sassy, it's seen in the right people. But even after, let's say, 4 or 5 years of business, and if you look at their stock turnover they have, it is out of proportion to the name that they've got. And then if you look at department stores like Selfridges, for example, probably many designers would give an arm to get more floor space there. But then you have some very quiet little label, for example from Denmark, they by Milan are getting more and more floor space, no celebrity following, no press, no nothing, but they are gaining the business. So how does this connect, with so much press, but where is their business? It's I don't think there's quite a lot of proportion between it. And it seems like that perhaps the media is encouraging this coolness, but it doesn't necessarily translate into sales. And then, some of them, they're out of business within, 10 years, which is still relatively soon. So I don't want to mention any names, but maybe you get a feeling of what...
No, but give me an example.
Yeah.
Give me an example. Mention a name. Give me an example.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, for example, give me an example of mention something. Because I don't understand very well what you asked me.
She's asking for an example.
Yeah.
An example.
Well, like Milan was one example. I think that's been okay. Let's take somebody like Osman Yusufzada, who has a very strong aesthetic, beautiful clothes, but has been in business for quite a number of years, has the right image, but not, I suppose, the huge sales. But then you have some small little labels coming from Scandinavia who then get more and more floor space. So it's, they have exhibitions, they have all those things. Everything is beautiful, it's very arty, it's very cool. But it's not necessarily going anywhere, you know what I mean? It's that's sort of what surprises me, especially with the Danish one. This is just one example of many, where it seems like the press never really writes about them. So I'm thinking it's perhaps an intentional purpose from those companies sort of to hold back and think we're not playing that game, we're just focusing on the end customer. And then, so but I feel very torn about it. When I started my business, everyone's like, oh, you must get a press office, you must get this and that. But there's this like element of, it's a hard word to use, but of prostitution in it, and I do not like it. No, but it is, you know what I mean? I feel like you have to sell yourself so much, and it sits really uncomfortable with me. It's a bit like, I think this is about business, it's about selling. So I'm very torn about it because everybody's telling me what to do, and I feel, oh God, I'm holding back. Of course, you still have to make people aware of your product, but it's just that balance.
I think fashion is a muse. Then you never know how you can seduce the muse. No, sometimes it's the planning business made effect. Sometimes it's the opposite, because it's like seduce a woman, a beautiful woman. Then you never know how. Sometimes it's an unpredictable thing, and mostly now, which is fashion is in the big revolution, web revolution. Nobody knows how to make a new predictable planning. Because, for example, some fashion big boom was through web and not through the right institutional media. Then I think it's really.
I'm also thinking at a label like Rick Owens, who I'm a huge fan of. I think as a customer of his clothes and whatever he's wearing, I think he's in such a beautiful position now because he never sold out to that game.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like he still managed to sell and get the business up. And in my opinion, it makes him so much more classy than so many other labels who sort of, because first when you run into that little hamster wheel of the press and there's a taste that you did sell out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But of course, not everybody maybe have the same talent or the right timing, business's timing, that you come at the right moment, and there's people out there getting onto it. But I think as a customer, I'm enormously attracted to those type of labels, like Thomas Meyer, for example, also particularly. It's very low-key, but it's...
Yeah, but for me, it's the unpredictable thing is worse in fashion. Then more unexpected you come, more good. It's also the right time, and you have to become unexpected at the right time, and that's make another big splash. But for sure, the institutional thing is now is a little bit out of fashion, let's say, because we are in the new era of fashion, which is from after website, because this is make everything upside down. Then in this new era, everything works in a way and nothing works in the other one. And there is a new democratization of fashion. Let's say you can really do a different strategy, and this is worse too. About commercially, for example, I always like to talk to the people in the buyer. I always talk to them because I like this point of view also, how you can sell. They are looking for, as now again, a little items, really with a big value, less over the world, no global thing. They're looking for a special thing. Then is the right moment to do a strategy like that. But what I want to say is, to me, fashion is the best place to be, because it must to be the place, because everything has to be unexpected, everything has to be fresh and new at the right moment. Then you have like play a card. At the right moment you have to come with a foolish, Then for you, for example, you've done so good because you've done in your way. and you feel that way. You feel your instinct is the best way, but then you have to absolutely follow that one. And this is, for me, is the combination between instinct and unexpected thing. That's the formula of fashion for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a conscious choice. Probably a company, if they're able to do it, they sort of made. And myself is sort of facing it a bit at the moment in the last year. And it's tough because everybody's telling you one thing to do, and in your heart it's like, but it's not me. You know what I mean? So it's touch and go. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. But I don't think you should listen everybody. You should listen yourself, because also it's building your brand. Then has to reflect your way in a way. Then a more genuine comes, more better it is.
But it's also when I do some of the interviews, I get the same questions over and over and over again. What celebrity do you want to see your shoes on? You know what I mean? It's those type of circles around this all the time, and it's a bit like, I think they need to broaden a bit beyond that. You know what I mean? So it does limit everybody into a little shoebox in my case. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Somebody want to say something to Camilla?
No, it's not by just me. It's just somebody want to say opinion.
I just think it's important to stay as true as you have been to your taste, which is why people admire. I mean, the people in the circles that we're all familiar with now admire your shoes so much. So there isn't a need to sell out at all. I would advise you not to at all.
Yeah.
But do you ever think that having a celebrity wear your brand helps awareness? I mean, raise awareness for the brand.
Word of mouth is the best. Yeah, that's the nicest. But
obviously, the right celebrity. You don't want just, But yeah, I mean, I can imagine that it does help you spread the name of the brand.
I think you should change anything about your label because it's perfect as it is. I own too many pairs.
Right, I mean, I sometimes am also like, well, don't take it so seriously, you know what I mean? It's just it's a part of the thing, but at the same time, I notice it with other brands. So I suppose when I notice it, other people must notice too. And I know in the end, I don't become their customer because that is something that can sit right in the overall thing, no matter if they make a beautiful one-off item. But there is something in the overall value, if maybe 10, 15 years down the line, it's more like this that I'm looking at. And I just really admire those people that obviously can pull it off, you know what I mean?
But fashion is also that. It's a kind of alchemist, alchemia, between this situation, between instinct, between what the people want, what the right moment is, what you have to not to do. It's a kind of dance, harmony dance. If you go too high, it would be. Would be not too much. It has to be like a dancing. Like you need pausa, you need a movement, you need harmonic way to do. Then you have to just feel yourself, feel and follow yourself, and make yourself dancing. I think will be the right thing to me. It has to be harmonic movement inside of the brand. To me, it's like that. Energy also is quite a good energy, Then don't think too much. Also,
I think that's one of the great things about Anna is that she really doesn't take fashion too seriously, and you brought the fun back in fashion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so hard worker behind the scene, but I try to make the light attitude. That make balance, because before I was hard worker, but also I was so serious. I was looking like soldier. Then now is I try. That's I want to say. You need emptiness. You need fullness. You need the high sound. You need no words. It's like a poesy, like music. It's kind of up and down, up and down. And also in the fashion, you have to take a little bit not too serious, but hard worker. It's a kind of paradox. Fashion is a paradox. If you stay in a balance on that, I think you made it.
Yeah.
Then we are like funamboli. I don't know the right name in English, but I think we are in the circus, up there, and try to make, fascinate people, but at the same time be so disciplined, understand fashion, but at the same time take the light message to the people. demand, or the demanding from the people, but in the same time to don't be soldier of yourself or your company, because sometimes how many people break their mind to please the company. Christophe from Balmain is get out. Is in the hospital because they are breaking. You know what I mean? This is not a good example. John Galliano having that. This is the best example to please. I mean, he's a genius. He's pleased too much the Maison, the fashion house, and because you got so many pressure. Yeah. You have to be yourself, but at the same time, you have to be owner of your time, honor your company. It's difficult, but that's why we love fashion. Because we are, I think we are artists in a way, all of us. We are kind of freedom spirits in a way.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Well, I want to ask you about, you generally wear head to toe, that looks, and staying true to the designer's vision. I mean, like 5 years ago, particularly in this region, we did dress head to toe, and it was considered a bit unimaginative, and it was like, mix it up, mix it with high street, do this, make it your own. And now there's a massive lapse back to that, dressing head to toe again. And why is it important for you to be...
But I want to tell you also, for me, fashion is kind of provocation. I always do what the people don't do. It's like I always talking about fashion as unconscious language. Then it has to be predictable. That's the same way that I used to wearing hats. Nobody used to wearing hats, just the queen and the people who go to marry. Then I to wedding, then I said the right moment to wearing hats because nobody do it. Why not? I always say why not? Why not is the right answer to find the right. Because I remember when I'm in the fashion from 22 years, and everyone, this was really a mix and match of effortlessly styling. Everyone was looking up, but British girl like you, like Kate Moss, like everyone. And of course it was fascinating. I was fascinated, but at that time nobody was wearing a catwalk piece. I said, why? I should wear those because I devote to fashion, and it's too much mix and match. We didn't understand anymore the designer idea. And I was thinking also it was a right provocation to celebrate fashion in a good way. I like when it's upside down, when fashion is to become irreverent. I like that. Although in that case, nobody wearing catwalk pieces, I should wear it. Nobody talking about designer pieces of work, I should do that. I go always where I am not to go. That's my philosophy. Also yoga, I practice yoga every day. Yoga tell you, if you are comfortable in one position, don't do that. You have to do which is not comfortable for you. Otherwise, easy. I do very not easy to go. Then now every I thought I'm so happy to go to fashion show and to see many girls dress up again and take all the catwalk pieces. It's good for the designer. The designer working so hard, 6 months to do a collection. And what is important for the designer is see wearing clothes, wearing women wearing clothes. Okay, sometimes I'm extremely push the message, but it's so good to see people dress up and celebrate fashion. Sometimes mix and match, it was too much close to street style, which is I love, but it's good to go at the supermarket. If you go to the fashion show, it's like you go to the wedding fashion show. It's a wedding for us, it's celebration, it's like go to party in a cool way. No way, this is not, it's a Mecca, this is a church for me. That's why I was push the people in that way, just to provoke the street style. Sometimes was a little bit to me too messy. That's why I was push the woman to play with color, with jewelry, with accessories. And seriously, now I see many people around the show dressing very, very well and doing a force to everybody. This is a celebration. This is good. It's like go to please, let's do a party and say to all the friends, please come like you want, in pyjama, in the flipper. You don't want that. You want a good party.
Yeah.
Then we have to support the designer to celebrate fashion. And now is everything is a little change in the fashion. Also, because there are bloggers, photographers, street-style photographer. This is another reason, because it was not celebrate fashion outside the catwalk show, and the pieces on the catwalk was not photographed in the magazine. Alors, where was fashion? No, nobody see fashion anymore. No in a magazine, no in a street style. I mean, why? We should support our work.
Yeah.
It's like go to the dentist, and the dentist has all the teeth break, all the black teeth. I mean, why I'm going to have a white smile if I have a dentist? You know what I mean? It's a provocation. I always provocate to try to make people good example. Yeah. I'm obsessed by, I want to be a good example for everyone. I want to be a good example for all the women like me, then thinking, I'm get old, I'm wrinkle face, or what I have to do, maybe I have to stay in the pyjama and watch the TV. No, please, not do that. Who cares about the age? Who cares about the body? Who cares about... Please do exercise, be healthy, but also lift your spirit with fashion. Fashion is a color.
Yeah.
You know, that's my philosophy. Then, why you don't have to color your drawer? Why you don't have to adorn your life? It's so good. We are so privileged to be in this fashion system. This is the best job for a woman, because they pay me to go shopping every day. Then I want to celebrate fashion.
And what happened? So you're kind of, people were doing, you were the only one doing the hats, and then everyone started doing them. Now everyone's starting to do the head-to-toe looks. So will you change again? Do you think you'll go back
I go grungy next time. I will go grungy, like messy.
You're Mr. Sparkle too much.
No, I will find another way. Yes, I like this kind of... it's like play tennis together. If you give me a good smash, I will thinking about, this is good, I have to do better. It's great competition, it's great energy. Yeah, I will do better, I will find another way, I will individualize something new, items or new way, because fashion is also, when you do editorial, you don't want to copy the other one. You're always looking for the best Karen Rothfield story, the best Grace Cornington story. You say, wow, that's great, I want to do more, I want to do like more than this, or I want to, but in my way, I don't want to copy. Yeah. You know, it's a great competition between. That's why I love fashion, because it's kind of music. More good music you listen to, more good you calm your ears, and more you can be a creative person. Yeah.
I think she also asked if you wear high street, like Zara, Topshop. Do you ever wear those?
Yes. I love. I love everything. Everything makes sense. I do. I will wear in H&M, Versace for H&M in the fashion show. I love, because I was the first one 3 months before, for example. But for example, if I'm going to say, yes, why don't choose Zara or Mango, whatever, I will find in any place the best pieces to looking fashionable. But I can tell you, I never want to wear cheap shoes. I'm obsessed about shoes. I think cheap shoes are really not good for anything. No, Camilla, cheap shoes, no way. I can wear Zara, Mango, but not give me cheap shoes.
You have to tell my boyfriend that.
No, it's true, because I'm Italian, then the shoes is such important, and I prefer to invest in the shoes. I say to everyone, please invest in a pair of shoes, because this can ruin your outfit. If the shoes is wrong, it's really a disaster. Not Camilla.
I'm trying to ask, I hear that you have
this may not be true, but I heard you have an apartment next to your apartment in Milan, which is just full of clothes, this whole apartment. And do you ever have a situation where you go into that apartment and think, no, I've got nothing to wear?
Don't tell me this way. I always say, if you have nothing to wear, you are depressed. You are really, but you need a psychiatry, not to go to the shop. I mean, this is a wrong attitude. I never thinking like that, because when a woman say, I have nothing to wear, it means you're not in a good mood. Then, if you are depressed, please go to put pair of heel shoes, and put the best dress and go out. You will feel right away better. You know what I mean? It's psychological attitude that's wrong. And to me, never to wear is not. It's impossible to say. Fashion is always attitude. Is spirit to life. Is sun. You cannot say it's no sun tomorrow. You know what I mean? Then,
do you have things that you wear again and again?
No, I never again. No, but I'm extremely, of course. That's another provocation. What means never again? Means please open your eyes, go outside, buy something, do acting. Do it, because many people have this employed. It's like boom. They say, "Oh, I'm too fat. I'm too brown. I'm getting old." That's the terrible mentality. Is the mostly that's what I love about fashion, because it's a right solution for your mentally disease. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because fashion is just a flower. You can buy a little flower. Take the little flower from the table and put on your dress. Will be just another dress, You find always clothes. Always say to my assistant, clothes is never a problem. If you have a great idea, the clothes is there. We are full of proposal, But never again, because I try to do every day better. Every day I try to. Of course, now then I'm in the loop, like celebrate the young designer. You know how many young designers come to me and show me the collection, give me some pieces now. Because I try to make this dance together. Now, if you dance, you will find somebody to dance always. But if you stay home in your pyjama like that, nobody will invite you at ball. You know what I mean? It's the attitude.
Yeah. I love that analogy of fashion being like dancing.
Yeah. Okay, then no, I collecting clothes. Then I'm always, as I say, I'm like a bibliothèque. I'm so precise. I'm so disciplined. Then also in my, if you come to my wardrobe, is everything cataloged. Everything make a sense. I designed the closet. Everything is cataloged, like gown, tuxedo, cocktail dress, black dress, flashy dress, print short, print. I mean, it's a job. I do with it. Like if you have a garden. If you have a garden, you cannot pull the flower in all together like under the table. You have to take the right space for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's like love the music. How many? If you talk to the DJ, you say how many, come si chiamano, dischi, how many records you have. It's the same like me, but they know where they are. When it's everything cataloged. If you come to my house, it's really. I spend an hour of day to put everything well in the right position. Shoes with shoes, like stock with stock, gold chain, gold accessories, gold bracelet, coral. Everything is catalogued. Look like a bibliothèque.
Fantastic. And all your friends come round and borrow.
What do you do with it? I mean, in the years to come, are you going to be like? Are you going to be like have a museum, or how do you see like your clothes?
Maybe I wish. Maybe I mean it's like having a shop. This is my shop. I enjoy myself because, and I wish to do a kind of a foundation or give to the, I give to the new generation, because it's now it's a really quite a good collection, but also is really organized. Always I thinking this is a good pieces to save. This will be something interesting to the people in the future. No, okay, this is a lot I don't going to buy. This is I don't going to put. Now it's really selection of pieces. And I wish to do a foundation. But so far, I enjoy so much. Maybe it was my mission, you know. Maybe I'm at the garden of the fashion.
It's a good mission.
Yeah.
Anna, I want to ask you about the new controversy about Milan Fashion Week and this date and the schedule change. I'm sure you've all heard now that Milan Fashion Week, they've changed their dates now, and it's overlapping with New York by one day and almost all of London Fashion Week.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster, yes, and the powers that be refuse to change the schedule, and they're sticking to what they've said. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on what you think will happen, because the editors and the buyers and so on, I mean, they're going to have to choose one city over the other. I wanted to know which one do you think they will go to and why?
That's politically think is not good on that, because that is not a politically think, because it's many reason. It's always they fight each other about the calendar since I was starting. That's why I like don't be involved in this thing. Politically is not my good thing, but I will so not happy to do that, because now take a month, really take 1 month exactly to cover New York to Paris.
It's Fashion Month, it's not Fashion Week.
Yes, it's Fashion
I don't know why
Month.
they call it that.
But it's so good for all the city. It's so good. So I see New York became a really important for all the young designers, like London. Before it was just London. Now New York is important as London for young designer. Paris, of course, is celebration of fashion. Milan is so important because everything comes from fabric. Since the fabric comes to there, then it's a big business place. I mean, I'm so disappointed, because I think it's really important for everyone to have the right place, the right time to show to all international press the works. And for example, I'm fanatic of web, but when I miss a show, I cannot have the same feeling when I go to see in style.com. Then for me, it's really I'm really disappointed. But I not tell you what will happen, because it's really about politically stuff. Many different reasons. I wish they found a solution, but for me it was it's really important to be in every part, in the 4 different parts of the world, is to support the 4 different parts. Now will be the Shanghai too.
Yeah.
China will be soon. Then I think we should find the right time for each market. Is really important.
If you had to choose yourself, which one would you go to? Milan, you have to support, because it's
Milan, I'm home.
Yeah, it's home.
Milan also. Paris forever.
Paris
forever. But I love so much London. I love so much London. But I cannot tell you, I love so much New York too, because there is also, New York is more also connecting people. You follow you go to see all the photography, or the models, or the agents, or the stylists. There is every place has the reason. I don't know.
It's in September. We still have time to decide, London or Milan, which one we want to go to.
Of course, I will be Milan, because it's my
home.
dog there.
Yeah. All your good friends as well in there.
Yeah, my dog will wait me there.
Thank you. Helena?
Yeah, moving sort of slightly away from fashion per se, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the sort of the fashion of beauty, really.
Yeah.
In an age now when it's so much easier to look much younger than we are, there's all these products on the market that are very tempting, and is there 2 questions really. One is, will we ever go back to natural beauty as we know it? And 2, in an era where pretty much everything can be fake, I mean, do we have to really reconsider what our whole perception of fake is and what genuine is?
Yeah, I think it's time to go back to the natural, probably, because luckily is also the moment to talking about ageless beauty, and there is a good moment, because otherwise I know here. I know will be here. Because, for example, I'm involved in Japanese Vogue, and Japan is obsessed by youth. They obsessed by young, little face, incredible skin. And I always say, why you choose me?
Why you choose me? I made the opposite. I'm tan, I'm wrinkled. I always come with a different color, and then say, "It's your we love your character." I mean, now, for example, I'm joking, but just to tell you, I think now in fashion is we're talking about ageless, like ever before. For example, Karin Roitfield did a Barnes campaign last season. She's the best example of ageless woman. Don't have any problem to show his age, to thinking of, to change the face, but she has the right to me. She's my muse because she always the right attitude. I never thinking about her age because she always carry energy, sexiness, femininity, and she has Julia 30 years old daughter Julia. And you not believe it can be, you know. And she does the Barnes campaign, which is a good example for every type of woman. And also for me, for example, in Japan, they always want in the cover beauty, young angels, really young. I said, basta, these are young angels. We have to really talking more about personality, spirits. We have to help the woman to trust her own beauty and not thinking just about this age, this obsession about age and stuff. And plus also after a year of surgery, plastic surgeries, is the time then we a little bit relax of that one. It's a bit maybe because also there is many examples of different kind of woman in fashion. Like another one is Daphne Guinness, for example, which is an icon of style. And she's amazing, and she's not that young. You know, she looking like a little angel, but she's not that young. And it's time. Thanks God, it's time to open more. In the same time, there is the model age is always down. The time to bring on the board different kind of woman, and that's a good example to me. But I think we should really more work on personal, let's say again, personal attitude, personal energy, spirits. That is important.
And not fear the external signs of age so much.
No.
Good, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Donna?
Yeah. Anna, you're famously friends with lots of bloggers, Scott Schumann and
Tommy
Ton, exactly. And of course, you blog yourself. But as an editor of a magazine, do you ever worry that the internet blogging will be the end of print magazines? That holding that physical product in your hands?
I think there is no ending story for print magazine because the magazine will be there, luckily, but there will be different approach of the editorial work and the internet work. For example, you already noticed the magazine became more and more like a Bible of images. The magazine became more really untouchable in high quality of images, like to collect with because of course they have to
be competitive with
other, to be competitive with all the information in a blog. But of course there is many magazine houses. This is too many. I think after the blog revolution will be reset. Everything will be reset. There will be less. I think less than now. It will be the best will be there, but not as many as we.
There'll be a filter of.
I think so. I think so. Because now it's already started. At one point it was too many printed magazines and not blogger. Now, for example, style.com which is the best successful blog, fashion his website and on the blog. It will do it a magazine.
Sure.
No, in October now, in the end of October. It's out.
Coming out
It's
tomorrow.
coming out tomorrow. Okay, and I was talking to the chief, to the editor-in-chief. I said, "Are you?" And then I put idea. Are you sure you want to do a magazine? He said to me, "Yeah, it's a big demanding. It was a big demanding because it was so many people, and it's the opposite. This is interesting.
Going from online to
yes.
print.
Now everyone want to see what kind of magazine he will do because I hope he will do the same as the other one. Then I think after the revolution on the blog and the web, I think it's time to reset also this part of the magazine. Like we will see which other way you have in paper to express point of view, lifestyle.com, or to survive in a monthly magazine, because now it's a lot of magazines are really in price. I mean, it's really problem because we don't have so much money to carry on, because the magazine costs really a fortune.
Sure. Do you find you turn more to internet-based?
I like both. When I started the internet, I said I want to jump on this boat because I don't want to be older on the floor.
Left behind.
Because wait me, I jump on. And I did, because I want to explore. And in the beginning it was so difficult for me. When I started my blog, it was terrible. I said, what is going on? And I said, okay, I try. And I found my way also to be different from the other one. Anyway, you're actually exploring, like when the phone was starting you don't want to stay at the phone, at the floor, at the wall. You have to walk around. You have to. Technology always evolving. Then you have to deal with that. Sure. But in the same time, I think for magazines much better go in a high level, or the like monthly magazines to be really look like collecting magazine to be collected.
Sure.
To be also then you want to go to buy. Otherwise, I think in the middle will be a problem in the middle. Or will be magazine like Grazia, then have the contents really fresh, freestyle, or the really high magazine. Is in the middle the problem?
Yeah.
Then it doesn't work.
Sure.
Or you have a website, which is another approach. But I think if you want to be modern, please try to keep in touch with the technology and the web, because that's for sure the future.
Sure.
But of course we have to deal in another. Will be another 10 years. At least take 10 years. This kind of the day after, no? Take at least another decade.
Sure.
Then we have to see what's going on.
Thank you. Alan?
Health.
I wanted to ask you about your brand now, and Helmut Newton once referred to you as a fashion maniac, and it's something that you've taken and actually celebrated, and you use that tagline on your blog, and now you've launched a fragrance. And I just wondered if fragrances is something that you're going to be moving forward with. Is that a new avenue for you, moving from being very fashion orientated into now beauty products, and where your brand is going next?
My brand is my challenge. Of course, I try to build a brand. It's not done. I try to build a brand through my blog, because when I started the blog, I said, what should I do it? I say, I think I should build my brand. And I said, how? I said, well, let's see, let's try. And I start to play with ADR or my initial name. That's why I also started the challenge of the perfume, starting from the web. Because I said, what is good in the web if I launch something, an expected product? It was starting from there, from this kind of experimentation. Then now what I'm doing is try to build a non-profit brand, like just a point of view on myself. I try to express myself in my brand, what I like, what I do. I like. If I want to come here, I come. If I like the space of freedom. That brand is like freedom brand. It's not profit. You know what I mean? It's like after be corporate for a lot of time. I've been in Condé Nast employed for 22 years. Then I feel like a soldier in a corporate. Now I want to express myself. Then that's why I said I build my brand. Then I feel more safe if I do something wrong. It's my brand, like it's like having a certain.
You have that control.
Yeah, like a title on myself, but it's more experimentation. It's more to express myself, to see if I can find some new project to have a fun. Like for example, dancing is another real dance. I like that. I want to do a little dancing video. I like to have fun now. And this is my space. And I keep really I protect really much this space, because also in the blog, if you notice, there is really like some also fun thing. I always change animation because it's kind of light way to express myself.
And is fragrance, the world of fragrance, is something you're going to carry on exploring, or can you tell us a little bit more about what's next, or where you're going to take?
Fragrance is also another fun, really good project, because it was like I project the fragrance by myself. This was from my idea. It's not a company come to me and say you want to do a perfume. It was the opposite. That's why I like the web, because you can start from your idea and you can launch something in the hemisphere. Maybe this happens. Maybe it works. Then of course I will continue in that way. I will do next other product. I cannot tell you now, because now is I will you now get a surprise. But I will do something else in this kind of way, like try to launch an idea, and maybe it will be translated in a product or in a record. I like to do record, for example, or dance, or ballet, or musical, whatever. But I like this kind of free way to work.
So you'd like to move into music as well, you think?
I love, yes.
Who would you like to be like? who would you, who's successful in the music industry now, who you'd aspire to be like?
No, I wish to do like a little, like a record like Beyonce. Now she do mommy, she do maybe I can say I do the record for you during the time you have a baby.
Maternity leave. Thank you.
I have one question a bit in connection to this. Some designers, when they come out at the end of the catwalk shows, they put on the most fantastic catwalk show, crazy outfit. I mean, being quite an extravagant dresser yourself, I'm always slightly disappointed when some designers come out in a t-shirt and rolled up jeans in the end of the show. You know what I mean? It can be like, oh no, so you're the show, but they're not pulling it off themselves. It's very strange.
It is. It's like the dentist, you said. If a dentist doesn't have good teeth, you don't want to go to them, and it's the same with fashion.
You say the dentist look like, you say, no, I take another time, another appointment.
Or, a hairstylist with bad hair, or like Camila says, designers who dress badly, you don't really...
Or for example, I always say, if you have grey legs, you cut it, because you want to be cool, I mean, why? You have a grey leg, show. Always the same. Show the best part of yourself. All right.
And Felicity?
Hi. What do you think the most important elements that a new fashion label needs to succeed in the industry today?
Oh, okay, I don't understand. What? Maybe it's too far. Tell me you. I don't understand.
She's asking, what elements does a new fashion label need to succeed in the industry? What do they need to do?
Again, to me, fantasy. To me, the way to surprise people is the good way now to do something for example, for a brand new brand. I give you an example. Sometimes the assistant come to me and say, I want to work in fashion. And I say, okay, what you want? What you give me advice? I said, okay, try to don't be boring. I mean, come to me, send me a flower. I mean, send me a flower to say, or send me a curriculum with the music inside, or the drawing, amazing drawing with the smell, or surprise me. It's like many people in this job, they want to really come. The million girl, but they always come in a same attitude, like, I want to work in fashion. I want to, it's like if you want to build a brand, try to be different from other new brands like you, for example. You already did a great job, but of course I cannot talk to you directly, and you, for example, you have your way to represent your clothes in that with the beautiful color, with the beautiful unfinished cut. But if you're going to promote yourself, you will find some different way from other people like you, no?
A different way of promoting yourself.
Yeah, promote you. I mean, for example, if you want to promote your brand, if you want to build your brand, you want to be unexpected, you want to surprise your audience, correct?
Do something with your show that's really interesting.
Yeah. Like but in different way, you know what I mean? Is that sometimes what drives me crazy in fashion is the attitude, or the people is always the same.
Like the formula of it.
The formula, like what you say, Camilla, before. What I had to do. Yeah, she's right. Always the same demand.
I understand Camilla's point of view.
Yeah,
but I think one of the things that's been a bit difficult in the first 5 years is that you can speak to so many experts, and everybody has got something to say. But in my case, I think a lot of experts are terribly, terribly wrong. So it's really, I think, the most important thing is to listen to your gut feeling. There's no one that's on your journey, or you are.
You don't have to speak with anyone. Yes. You don't have to. You have to put the.
Yes.
And you have to think by yourself and do.
Exactly.
And do in your way, in your basta, like in your creativity way. You do very well when you design the shoes. Nobody tell you you have to do red shoes, you have to do violet shoes. It's the same as the business.
Yeah.
Well, if build a brand to me is like express yourself. It's the same. If you have a brand, your own brand, Felicity Brown. I mean, how you want to express the brand? Nobody has to tell you. You should know. You should project yourself in a marketing way too, or in advertising way. You know what I mean? To me, the money to other people is not good.
But I understand the dance thing where you want to follow your heart and make something totally beautiful, but then you also want women to want to buy it and be able to it be very wearable, and it's like trying to.
I don't think that's the point, to be wearable, because I wear very unwearable clothes, and your clothes are not very wearable.
No,
Then that's why it's a special. I think the point is now to make a special clothes, a special thing, because it's too many around. It's too many clothes, too many beautiful things, too many new designs. That's why it's really
stay special.
It's to stay special.
Follow your heart.
Who cares if it's wearable or not? To me, if you want to build, for example, your Felicity Brown, you are really couture, like a factor couture brand. No, that's your kind of range. No, we have to think about wearable as to be like special couture, destroy. Then you need at least 5 years. You have to tell to your company, financial company, give me 5 years, because I have to stay special. At least the people understand what kind of message. And then we will see. You will find another way to talking about wearability.
Okay.
I think is that the point, to be yourself is. People looking for authenticity, integrity in the business. More because what is special? For example, give an example. Then you know each other. Mary Catranzo, which is a lot, Mary. I remember when I met Mary, not that much. 2 years ago, she was doing the first beautiful show with all the printing, and she said to me, I would say, Mary, stupendo, it's a fantastic show, so special. She said to me, you think I'm wrong? I'm totally in my own world. Nobody do print. I think you're totally right, because nobody does that one. You should keep that range. You have to keep this. beautiful idea to using interior decor or to using print to make special clothes. Now she's having a big splash.
Yeah.
Everyone, and also she influenced a lot all the catwalk.
Yeah.
Every this season, many designers did the prints because she was doing very well the print in the right moment. See, to me, is the important thing is get the message, believe in the message, build your specifically authenticity, and then we will find a way after. But you need at least 3 years to stay in your confident world, creativity. After you will find a way to be wearable.
Really, because I completely understand where you have like buyers saying we want a middle range, we want a simple range, we want a, you know.
To me, the middle doesn't work. They think in the middle. In fashion, it doesn't work. To please everyone.
It's really difficult.
It's really difficult. And the beginner. Then to me, to stay, it has to be at least you have to build for a couple of years or more than a couple of years your vision. Then the vision is special, will stay, and then you will find a way to make money.
That's a nicer way to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's an artist's way to say.
Yeah.
I believe in artist's way to see fashion. So generally, I like so much when they do the opposite. Like for example, this street massive market is the opposite way. You know, like Zara, H&M, they made a different way to see fashion in an incredible way, which is so smart too. But it's not fashion. It's not. We cannot talking about. It's a way to consume fashion.
Yeah.
It's not to create It's not to create fashion. It's to consume fashion, which is another interesting point of view. But it's not. You cannot say it's a create fashion, genuine fashion. No. No, Camilla.
Yeah, well, I just think it's your journey, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be somebody else. You don't want to see the end of the line having taken somebody else's ride. Yeah, I think that's where it comes a little bit back to what I spoke about before, about what path you want to choose. And I always find a strength in trying to hold back a bit because you're not sort of forced into those channels. I remember there was the last couple of years, for example, with the British Fashion Fund.
Yeah.
All always bombarded. Why don't you apply? Everybody's applying. I said, no, I don't want that money because this is not a business that you're supposed to. Basically, the questionnaire that they send you, I mean, I don't know if I'm stepping on toes here, but I find it's again this thing about selling out. You have to give an awful lot of information about your business, your suppliers, everything, something that you work really, really hard to get because it's very difficult to get good suppliers and reliable ones. So basically, they sit on all this information once you apply, and I thought, no way, it couldn't cross my mind to apply for this. And I do think there's something wrong if you've been in business for 5 years and you still can't make a turnover, you need to go back and look at your marketing. And I think that's missing a lot in London, you know what I mean? It comes back to a lot of talk and a lot of this, but where's your business, where's your turnover, how many stockists have you got? So it's, I'm still learning to drive my machine here, so there's no straight answers, but it's again the combination of the package, the quality and the price point, you know, but yeah. But I can't understand why so many business upstarts need so many sponsorships, so many cash awards, so many what. Of course, in the beginning everybody needs some help, but in my case I took a business loan of £35,000 and that was it, and that was paid off within a few years. So yeah, it's business, it has to, the numbers have to add up. What I sort of find personally mostly affecting me is this thing with being too commercial and at the same time have a bit of an artistic voice. I would love to be much more subversive because especially when I like Rick so much, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I can get totally lost down that avenue. But I can't as one product group. I don't have the world, I don't have clothes, I don't have coats, I don't have bags, I don't have all these things. So I find that one is a big juggle every season, you know, the agents that, oh, this one's going to sell, and I'm like, oh God, this one is so commercial, you know what I mean? So it's, you still want to retain that little bit about yourself, because when you then do the interviews, you need something to talk about, but you can't talk about it if you feel it's too commercial. There have to be a little bit of teeth to it, you know what I mean, somehow.
But you have to make
that one is chopper, so I'm still learning that one.
Yeah, it's a balancing act, right?
But you have to make a choice. You have also to make your choice, like be millionaire or be artistic, no millionaire stylist, designer for a while. Maybe you will be millionaire in 10 years, but now you want to have your. It's better have a small business, more in control, for example, to express yourself, and then you will be millionaire in a couple of decades.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's about you have to make choice.
Thank you all so much. In the interest of time, because Anna, I think you have a flight to catch later this evening. We could talk to you for hours and hours on end because we learned so much from you. It's been a pleasure having you here. I also want to thank Symphony for making this happen.
Thank you so much.
And Anna, thank you so much for gracing us with your lovely presence in Dubai, and we look forward to having you here again in the city soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.